Hi guys, Jay Smith here. Welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to Mizuno Pro 245 against Mizuno Pro 243. Now we've got a player's distance iron against a player's cavity iron. So this is not necessarily an apples for apples test. Actually, this is designed for the guys who are thinking about going into their custom fit and thinking, am I good enough for a 243 or do I have to go 245? What are the benefits going 245 over 243? Is there any feel differences, look differences? And one big thing, blending. As time is going on, we are finding that more golfers are thinking about blending sets, in between sets, a blade and a player's cavity, or a player's cavity and a player's distance and then a game improvement iron at different points in the bag to try and make the most of their iron set. We'll test to see what the differences in performance are. I will do the different swing speed. We'll have a little look at that one at the end of the video to see how they work at different swing speeds. Also the forgiveness testing as well. I'll whack these from all different parts of the face to see how forgiving they are, see if one is more forgiving than the other. And also we're going to go into the simulator now. Let's go give them a hit. Let's go see how they look and feel into a green. Pro 243 in my hands. We'll do the Pro 245 in a sec. Got the simulator on. We are at Beaver Hills Country Club, hole 15. It's a par 4 normally, but I have moved the tee up to 177 yards for a bit of fun over water because it is YouTube. So left-hand side of this green is basically dead and I don't want to be going left, so right is the miss if I can. So Pro 243, 32 degree lofted head, chromoly based in its construction. We have got copper underlay, we have got micro slot, we have got technology in there. It does go into grain flow forge and the scoring irons. Looks wise on this though, we have a thinner top line than the 245. We have a medium thickness sole. Blade lengths aren't big at all, and then again, if you go down by the golf ball, offset on this one is not much whatsoever. That's definitely the miss. Middle of the green. Don't go left, don't go left, don't go left. Path is 0, face is open by 1 degree, hence why it went to the right. Strike is 3 mil toe, 0 mil low, so good strike. Can't complain with that one whatsoever, felt really nice. 40 yards in the air, 51 degrees descent angle, 172. 173 on quad here because we are hitting fractionally uphill. Now 171 yards would be the distance I'd be expecting this to hit on the basis of its loft alone. This has got technology, so it will allow for a slightly faster face, etc. We'll gain a little bit more on that if I could close the face up, but feel on the face just feels lovely. That's that copper underlay. Again, if not slightly worse. Again, that is so safe. I'm not messing with that left-hand side at all. 174 on quad I saw, 173 on this, uphill slightly, 1.1 from the inside, 0. Face open, just a little baby push to the right, 4 mil heel, 3 mil low, very good strike, 39 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, just working really well at 174 on quad, 173 on the screen. I've been seeing about 5 yards extra punch from this over its loft because of the micro slot, etc. Over than that what I would normally get for my bladed set. Again, when it comes to my bladed set, my 6 iron is 30 degrees, of which the 245 is 30 degrees. So it will be interesting to see how much punch I get from the 245. Right, one last one, and then we'll go to the 245. I wanted to get that one a little bit of a braver line, but I think I've got too brave on it. Yes, I have. Missed the green left is not something you want to do on this hole. That's a tricky up and down. Path is good. Face was overdone, as you can see here. 1 mil low, 1 millimeter heel. Very good strike. Can't complain whatsoever. And 39 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle. And that would have obviously stopped if I'd hit the green, of which I didn't because I was getting a little bit greedy. Tiger line on that one. Feel is really very good. The golf club performs exceptionally well. I'm swinging at my normal speed now. Again, when it comes to the full-on performance test that we'll do after the 245, when we look at the data, I will reference the 70, 80, 90 mile an hour swing speeds that I have done in my full reviews to see what the differences between these two are. Right, so let's go dump this one off. Let's go get the 245 and let's see how well the 245 works. Okay, Pro 245 in my hands. Now, very quickly, is a hollow body design. It's got a boatload of tungsten. It's got a massive upgrade in tungsten over the 225. So it's got nearly 50 grams in the bottom of this now, which has really helped its forgiveness. It's really helped its launch. It is a bit of an upgrade, shall we say, over the 225, where the 243 is just a small nudge in the right direction compared to its older 223. The 245 is a much nicer club to use. We have got a slightly slightly thicker top line than that of the 243. Sole thicknesses, because of the different look of the sole of the 243, the 245, it looks fractionally narrower. It'd be interesting to see what the actual differences are, see if I can get the Mizuno's website gauges on there to see what the differences are. But blade length's fractionally bigger than that of the 243, but not much whatsoever. Down by the golf ball, not much in it when it comes to the offset, but you can slightly tell it's a slightly bigger club head. That's out to the right slightly. Not the most ideal shot in the world, but it's safe. Very, look at the distance, yeah, there we go. There's a little bit of a difference there, shall we say. Half 0.7 from the inside, face is 0.6, so very 0-0 delivery. 4mm toe, 0mm low, so within reason, a very good strike. 40 yards in the air, 50 degrees ascent angle. Again, there doesn't seem to be that much difference on first glimpses between these two. They both go up very similarly. They both descend into the green very much similarly. Just that you're going to get a little bit more punch, shall we say, from a 245. That is because of the hollow-bodied head. That's because that face is flexing and you've got that tungsten in there helping launch, helping it go. And especially when you don't quite hit the middle. Again, when it comes to forgiveness side, we'll do that one after I hit a few shots with this one. But again, it does feel a bit more punchy than that of the 243. That is nowhere near middle. I felt that. What's the difference in carry? So we've lost a little bit of carry distance. We're talking 180, 181, I think the other one was. 12mm toe, 0mm low. There you go. Path was slightly across, face was slightly open. So open face, not good. And 12mm toe, not good. And we've lost about 4 yards. That is it. That is just brilliant. 37 yards in the air, 49 degrees ascent angle again from that strike and that face being open. It's just doing really well. And that's what you're going to get of a player's distance to a player's cavity. You're just going to get a little bit more help when you don't quite do what you should do. It's just going to go up, it's going to stop, and it's going to be forgiving when you don't hit the middle. Feel wise, it is different. It is definitely different between this one and the player's cavity. The player's cavity has a softer, less audible punch. It's still punchy compared to a blade, but then 245. Now, again, it's hollow bodied. So a lot of hollow bodied players' distance irons can sound like a gun going off, where this one nowhere near as bad. But again, you hit one relatively out the middle. That may be a fraction, say 3mm high in the face, but look at that carry. Path is 0.2, face is baby closed, that is it. 4mm high, not 3mm high, so again, that's the great thing again, we go down the player's distance. When you don't quite hit the middle, you don't have to have a ridiculously expensive launch monitor. You can tell quite easily, sometimes to the millimeter nearly, where you hit them on the face, because they are that good when it comes to feedback. When you go to full-on game improvement irons, they're just so numb that you can hit them all around the face and not really know where you've hit it. But again, we're 182 yards, it's 37 yards in the air, 48 degrees ascent angle, just working really, really well. 182, 183 on quad, because we are hitting slightly uphill, and that's what, 5 yards further than what my 6-iron will go, like for like loft, and a shorter shaft. Again, you get this ½ inch longer and compare it directly to my 6-iron, and it is going a little bit further than that. I mean, you're not complaining at all. It is just, look at the distance and yeah, a little more carry you get from a 245. Club path 1 degree across and face 0.6 closed. That's why it's gone left by a fraction, but not too much. 4mm toe, 1mm high, good strike, 39 yards in the air and 49.5 degrees ascent angle. So, on first glance, you'd have to say that out of the two, which one wins when it comes to the distance? Well, 245 will win. But it's not winning the classic way of just cranking the loft out of something, because you can just crank lofts, but it won't then go as high and it won't stop as steep. Yet they are both stopping the same amount. So you are getting free distance with this. Now, yes, does it feel a bit more poppy than the 243? Absolutely, yes it does. You can definitely tell, even though made of chromoly and they're both got copper underlay, this is hollow bodied, so you can feel the difference. Let's go hit these a few times all around the face. Let's also capture some information what happens when you slow swing speed down 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. Let's go see, out of those, which one wins. Let's go have a look at how the Mizuno Pro 243 got on against the Mizuno Pro 245 at 3 different swing speeds, 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. I've tried to keep these as like for like as possible. Remember, static loft difference is 2 degrees, and I've, within reason, been able to match the lofts of both of them. So we are talking like for like. So we'll actually see what difference the head technology and how the construction of the head makes a difference to ball dynamics. But if we have a look at the 70 mile an hour stuff, first I've got the 243, 245 ball data at the top, and then you've got the club head data underneath it. And you can see within reason 133 to 136. No surprise that the 245 has got the advantage of 3 yards over the 243, as this is at 70 miles an hour. If you look at the loft within reason, we are talking exactly the same 0.3 rather than 2 degrees. We're talking 0.3 of a degree difference in delivered loft, and just how well that 245 is launching. It's launching 20.3, even though it's got 0.3 of a degree less loft, it's launching 0.1 higher. So this is the whole idea of that tungsten vertical gearing. Because of the center of gravity on the 245 is lower, it will vertically gear, so the head will try to launch the golf ball higher, but you'll have to keep an eye on the spin. So at the moment it's obviously at 70 miles an hour. Spin is at 4.2 and at 4,000, so we're 230 or so RPM difference. Nothing whatsoever you have to worry about. Obviously 230 RPM will make no difference whatsoever. Efficiency is 1.37, 1.38. Again, tack angle, club path, face to path, everything is very close. So we are talking about within reason, with the same peak height, same descent angles. Is an extra 3 yards for free. If we go over to the medium speed, the 80 miles an hour speed, the carry distance 155 to 159, we've now got a 4 mile an hour difference. But you look at the club head speed, 80.5 to 80.2, so I didn't quite swing the 245 at the same speed as the 243. We are talking 0.3 of a mile an hour, but again, if it was the same, it would go a little bit further, maybe 5 yards. There you go. But you're looking at ball speed, 109.5, 109.6, even though with a slower swing speed, it is still getting a slightly faster ball speed, so efficiency is 1.36, 1.37, no surprise there. The only difference you'd say is the loft. There is 0.8 of a degree, not 2 degrees, so 0.8 of a degree, so not even a degree, but 0.8, let's be open and honest about it. And even that with the launch is 20.2 to 20.1. So again, just how well the 245 is launching. Look at the spin. We are now seeing a separation. We've got 400 or so RPM difference between the two data sets, and there is a pattern that the faster you go, the more of a bigger difference you'll see between the 243 and 245 in the spin side of things. We'll keep an eye on that when we go to 90 miles an hour. So within reason, as you can see, everything else is within reason the same. So you've got 30 yards in the air, 29 yards in the air. That could be a difference between half a yard or 1.4 yards, depending obviously on the rounding. And then 45.9 against 44.8. So there's a degree difference in descent angle. But again, when we're talking 7 iron going 155, 159, you could quite easily 45 degrees descent angle go to 6 iron. 5 iron, no, I'd be wanting to go into something that's going to be launching the golf ball a bit better than that, because it's going to start going in a little bit too much like that. Let's go full on 90 miles an hour. Well, not quite full on speed, but 90 miles an hour. And the carry now, look at the carry distance, 170, 180 yards. We've now got 10 yards of difference between these two golf clubs. We have got 0.6 of a degree difference in loft between them. That is it, not 2 degrees. It's within half a degree or so. Well, half a degree does not make 10 yards. What does make the 10 yards? Well, we have a launch angle, again, even though it's 0.6 degree less loft, it's still launching 0.1 of a degree more. So it's got slightly faster ball speed from a slightly slower club head speed, and that's a pattern. That's the Cortec face with the 245 being a bit more springy, but we have that total spin. That total spin now is just about 1,000, not quite 1,000, but let's call it 1,000 for rounding. There's 1,000 RPM difference. Now we are talking between 6,000 and 5,000. That is not necessarily the 245 being an ultra low spin head, not necessarily at all. What it more so is how well the 243 is spinning. And that's a pattern that I've seen in the 243 test, just how well the 243 does spin. And so, of course, yes, with the 245, with the 50 grams of tungsten you have in the bottom of that, you are going to get a certain amount of vertical gearing, which is going to help the golf ball in the air, but will come to a certain, it will penalise spin to a certain extent, but not greatly. But there is 1,000 RPM, but this is at 90 miles an hour. Guys, if you're swinging at 90 miles an hour, I would not necessarily say that it would be a good idea to have a full set of 245s. You can do if you want to. Make sure you get properly fixed. Obviously, different people spin golf balls differently, but I don't want my 7 iron going 180 yards of carry. My 7 iron goes 164 yards of carry, because if not, there's too big a distance gaps between each iron. Either that or you need 64 wedges. But if we have a look at everything else, 1.35, 1.36 on the 245, so yeah, slightly more springy face, and of course everything else within reason is very close to 0. Let's go have a look at the standardized miss hits. Everyone likes the miss hit, so what we'll do is we'll have a look at that one now. Interesting low heel now. We've got 11mm heel, 5mm low. We have a face which is 0 and a loft of 27.5 degrees, 1.34. If you then go to 243, you've got 8mm heel, 5mm low, so we are talking 3mm better than that of the 245. 245 was 11mm heel, 5mm low, and the 243 is 8mm heel, 5mm low. We have a face which is 0 and a loft of 25.5, where we got 2 degrees more loft on the 245. So anytime you add more loft, you get more deflection, less efficiency. So the 245 has got actually more loft, and that was 1.34. If you then look at the 243, it's got 1.33. So even with, this is where the tungsten absolutely is winning. If you're going to hit low heels and low toes and stuff like that, then where the tungsten is just loving it. And so you are going to get more help from a 245. With that tungsten, you will do a 243. You're just going to lose less ball speed when you hit the shots. So if you go 245 now low, we're not talking big. These misses aren't large, guys. Again, these are players' irons, so you don't really want to be missing the face by massive amounts. And if you are, I suggest don't go with these golfs at all. Go down game improvement help, because yes, they will have more help than players. But again, so this is 8mm low, 3mm heel. A face which is well 1 degree or so open, 26 degrees of loft. And then if you go the 243, we've got 8mm low, 1mm heel, so within very small amounts. The 243 has a slightly better strike by 2mm, but slightly better strike. And we have a face which is 1.2 degrees open to 0.9 degrees, so that's basically exactly the same, and 26.4 degrees aloft to 26, so basically exactly the same as well. 243 is 1.34, and the 245 is 1.33. Now that has a slightly worse strike by not amount, it's such a small amount. But if you were to do all the adjustments, all the different bits and pieces, they are basically working it exactly the same. Now, why are they working exactly the same when you've got that 50 grams of tungsten in the 245? It's the micro slot in the 243. The micro slot in the 243 works really well off of low strikes. Again, when you start moving horizontally as well as low, you can't get around the 50 grams of tungsten. The 245 will always win. But the 243 does surprisingly well from just normal thin shots with that micro slot. Let's go 245 now, and we'll go into a normal toe, 14mm toe, 0mm low. It's 26.6 degrees aloft and face is 1 closed, 1.34. If you then go to the 243, 10mm toe, 1mm high. So 3mm better strike than that of the 245. Lofted 26.9 and face is 1.3 closed. I mean, we are talking very small amounts difference to that of the 245. The 245 is 1.34, and also the 243 has 1.34 as well. With any small amount, effectively what you're seeing here is that the 245 will give you the same amount of efficiency as the 243, but from a slightly worse strike. Conclusion, between these two, I would say out of the middle, 245 is going to win. It's a slightly springier face than the 243. If you go low on the face, they basically, within reason, are exactly the same. If you go toe and heel, the 245 wins. So within reason, you'd say overall, especially on performance and forgiveness, you'd say 245 wins. What you have to be careful of and just be aware of, guys, is the spin profile. Now, depending on what you spin and how you spin a golf ball, everybody is different. A 245 will be brilliant, or 245 will be not brilliant, or a 245 will be spot on. No different to 243. The 243 spins really, really well, but if you're a player that spins the golf ball a lot anyway, it could spin too much. So that's the whole idea of getting properly custom fit, so your fitter can fit correctly what club head you need, as well as shaft, etc. Looks wise and feel, the interesting on looks, even though 245 is a slightly bigger golf club, it looks like a fat 241, the blade. And I like a bladed looking golf club. For me, the 243 is just a bit busy at the back. Again, I play blades, so anything is too busy at the back. But when it comes to feel, 243, for me, personally because I like a dull, quiet sounding golf club. And out of the two, the 243 is the quieter out of the two. The 245 is obviously being hollow bodied, it's got copper underlay, so it's nowhere near as loud as some hollow bodied players distance irons out in the market, but out of these two, it is the louder of the two. So for that, I would go 243. Hope you liked the video. If you did, go on down there is a like button, go on click that one, that'd be brilliant for the channel. Also, while you're there, is a subscribe button. If you can click that one, it's great because it's free. And next to that also is a bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. So I hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.